to have an online social media presence?
I think I'll go first. I think the reason is number one, you have an organization, you want people to know you are out there. You want people to know what you are doing. You want to collaborate with other organizations. So for me, I think those are just the main objective for creating wanting your presence, out there. The objective. You just want people to know that you are out there, collaborate with people, uh, get to know other people that are doing the same thing that you're doing, and also letting people know what you do if they can benefit from it, just to educate.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Roslyn. All right, so we've taken note of three things. Number one is visibility. All right, to increase visibility. Number two, to provide an opportunity for collaboration. And number three also is to also provide education, education or informative knowledge. All right, would anybody also have anything to contribute? Maybe there's something we should also be considering as an objective that any of these three do not capture.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Rosie.
I think going online, you will reach the audience that you will reach will be more larger than when you don't go online. I think you can reach so many nations at the same time. And also, the world is a global village. The only way you can make an impression or possibly compete competitively is through this social media, which everybody is in. So social media will expose you. It will give you it can even make you discover that the area you are not doing well, when you see your competitors doing better than you, by the time you look at them, you'll be able to improve for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think we'll work with this here, and I appreciate all of this. I don't know, is anybody saying something to contribute to this? Please, if you do have something, yes, please.
Is for, like they said earlier, education.
Yes.
Number two, feedback. Number three, advocacy.
Yes.
And I will say again, inclusivity. To be inclusive in any program, in the program.
No, okay.
Education, feedback, advocacy, and inclusivity. To be inclusive.
To be inclusive. Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So I appreciate all of our contributions, and I'm taking notes of them. And I hope that we're also taking notes of them, because we would have to build on all of these, because they are going to contribute towards the build up of what we are discussing, today. All right. So now,
can I add more?
All right.
Can I add
yes.
Networking and a new innovation.
A new innovation. Okay.
Yes. Because the society is changing every minute, every second. So we want to be current with what is happening.
All right. So that's very interesting to note. Okay. So is now networking, new innovation, inclusivity, advocacy, feedback, competitive advantage, more reach, increased reach, education, collaboration, visibility. All right, so I know that quite a number of these objectives are, interwoven, because like collaboration and networking, is similar and interwoven. Also, you have advocacy and education. Also, it's also somewhat in between. There's a way that they are also overlapping, but yet they are still separate, from each other. But we'll just treat them separately. Now, the reason why we need to understand these objectives is because they are really going to drive us into how we use the social media platform. Now, a lot of people, a lot of organizations make use of social media for different purposes. All right. Now, a lot use for the things that we've mentioned. A lot of organizations also, they do use social media for them. Now, if we now look at all of this, because what I have here listed here at 10, we can actually work on these and then be able to streamline it into a maximum of 5 so that they really help us in, also help the work that we're doing and also how we'll be using the social media platform. Now, with the objectives that we have found, now, well, I'm going to make use of let's say 3 out of all that we've mentioned. Number 1 is visibility, so that I'll be using that as in illustrations and example. So visibility, I'm going to take networking, and at the same time, I will take competitive advantage. All right. So you have visibility, you have competitive advantage, as well as networking. So let us work with this theory. Now, we're going with what we'll be discussing. We can always apply other objectives, alongside with this. Now, for you, if your intention as an organization, okay, Fight for Life intends to increase its visibility. So it looks at what it states is what's the level of visibility that it has at the moment. And now it is looking at, for you to increase the visibility, now those who should be who Fight for Life should be visible to, you need to now begin to look at who are they. So the next thing is to now look at who are the people that Fight for Life want to be engaging with and interacting with on social media. All right, so social media has a very huge user base. All right, Facebook has over 1 billion user base. The same thing, Instagram. You have X as well. Now, but all of these people are not going to be your target audience. So the next process is, who are your target audience? Because the social media is full of so many categories and so many demographics of people who use the platform. So can we identify who are social leaders? Now, understanding the fact that we are an organization that is focused on health, okay? Therefore, we want to look at what stakeholders do we look out for. Now, we've talked about collaboration, with other organizations. So we're looking at organizations who are also into similar or complementary field as our own organization. So what do we consider as the stakeholders to which we want to engage with via social media? Now, number 1, if I'm permitted to, I'll say, are the beneficiaries of the programs and the projects of Fight for Life. So number 1 are the beneficiaries. So if we have the benefit, so who else do we consider as stakeholders who we can engage with as social media? So I want to get responses from us. Okay, so we've talked about the objective. Now we are talking about the target audience on social media. Who are those that we consider as our stakeholders or target audience of social media?
Well, like you said at first, I think the first people will be the survivors, right? The breast cancer patients and the survivors. That would be number 1. Then we are looking at the caregivers and family members. Those ones too, they'll be part. Then we're looking at women health advocates, those ones will be part. Then if we want to go deeper, we'll look at the donors and the sponsors, like people giving us these protesters that we are giving to these women. They'll be part of it. Then, of course, healthcare professionals and policy makers in the community, leaders, and of course, maybe hospitals and other organizations, right? And volunteers, people we call ambassadors. Then, of course, social media influencers too. We want to reach out to them. So I think all of those will be our stakeholders.
All right, thank you very much. Quite a comprehensive list of stakeholders that will be, that are to be engaged. And it's very necessary that we understand who we are trying to reach, because those who are trying to reach, now every one of them from different categories of individuals would what they align with on social media differ. And so you must be able to understand what it takes to reach them. Now, you cannot engage on social media the same way you would engage with a survivor compared to a donor. All right. If you're going to be sharing content, if your contents are going to be targeted towards all of these, categories of people, then you must be able to recognize them and also be able to create targeted content that will appeal to them. Okay, so all of these in all of these categories of stakeholders, now we can be able to work on a classification and be able to draw out how all of these categories can be reached on social media. So having been able to identify who your audience are, now, well, we have to do some little research. And it's good to know that Fight for Life, is really into research. So there will be lots of data that would have been collected over time, regarding stakeholders. And if there's none, maybe it's time that we also begin to actually work on that, since we are actually having this conversation. And that would have to do with looking at the demographics of those who we have identified as our target audience online. All right. So once you look at, okay, the demographics at first, what are the age range? So if we look at all of the various categories or different target audience groups, we look at their age range. We look at what if there is a specific gender that aligns with them, because like now if we're talking about survivors and also those who are also, those who have breast cancer issues and all, you'll be talking about women or, the female gender. If you're looking at healthcare workers also, you can also be able to distinguish, okay, if they're of this gender, you're looking at, so depending on the class, let's look at, okay, what are the gender? Let's also look at what are the stage of life. All right, now we have survivors, those have gone through, the experience, and they have been able to, scale through. And then we also have those who are still, in the, we are still having that experience. Now, so we have to be able to classify this. Now, if we look at also those who are the family members as well, okay, so look at who are the family members that are closely associated and closely, in working or helping out with those who are the survivors. And, so I believe that with research data that we have access to, we can be able to then group all of this and know, okay, what are the age range? Now, because considering the age range, for example, now the way you target content for a young adult is different from the way you target content for maybe this for a senior. It's going to also be the way we target content for a teenager, so every age range, they also have it. There are different ways by which you target audience. We also look at the geographical location. Now, it's good to know that we have we have the US office, we also have the Nigerian office, and so we have different locations, and the way what's peculiar to people in Nigeria is different from the way, to what's peculiar to people in the US. So we have to then look at who are those who are within this geographical location, who are those within this geographical location. Those in the US, what are the kind of content that appeal to them? Those in Nigeria, what are the kind of content that appeal to them? So we must be able to disaggregate all of our target audience, based on all of these criteria. So I've mentioned age range, I've mentioned gender, I've mentioned also the stage of life that they are in, I've mentioned also geographic location, so we also is industry, from the list of target audience we have. A lot of people, a lot of them fall into different industries. Some would fall into the healthcare. Some fall into political because we have policy. Those who are policy makers, all right. So they fall into a different industry. You also have community leaders. So even donors and sponsors. You need to also look at donors and sponsors they might not necessarily be health or medical industry based. They might maybe be in other, maybe finance or some others, because there are some organizations who actually have their corporate social responsibility targeted towards health, but what they do might not necessarily be health. What they are into, it might not be health. So you also need to look at the industry. So having all of these disaggregated and then, classified, we also help to know what kind of content on social media can we put up in order to attract this kind. So if we say that we have our goal, maybe for the next 6 months, is to be able to get funding. All right, so we want to do some advocacy and also do some campaign towards funding. So we need to look at who are those that we are actually trying to reach. We're not just reaching anybody, but we want to reach some category of people. And so we're able to get research out and get the demographics of these people, and then be able to to create content that appeal to them. So we'll definitely see how necessary it is to be able to get all of these information at our fingertips, so that we can be able to get our social media platform effective and also achieving the objectives. All right, so that would do for the research of demographics. Now, also associated with that is the psychographics. All right, and psychographics has to do with the emotional bias and inclination of your target audience, and that would cover things like what is the pain point of these categories of people. What are the things that really matter to them? Where they feel concerned about. What is it that actually is the concern of this target audience that we're looking at? Now, what is the concern of a caregiver if we are to reach out to caregivers? Now, what is it that is the concern? Now, compared to those who are healthcare workers, if we are to reach out to healthcare workers, what is their concern? Now, it's going to differ. So depending on what, if we're having a project, we're having a project that actually is focused on caregivers, for example. Now, and then we have to share content within that period of time when the project is running. Then we need to understand those who we are targeting and know what is their pain point and be able to create content that would appeal to them. So we have the caregivers that we have to reach out to. What then are the pain points of these caregivers? Now, what are their goals? Now, for a caregiver, we should understand the goal of that caregiver in his or her work. And that way, we can be able to create posts that addresses or create content that address that goal in such a way that they always find your content to answer their questions. They find your content on social media to be able to meet their expectations, what they are looking out for. So if a caregiver decides to go online to check for something which the person wants to know is working on and wants to, does your content answer the person's question so that your content online is really is returned as a response or as a result, a search result for that caregiver. So once you look at what are the goals, we also look at what are their pain points. At the same time, you look at what are their fears, the fears of your target audience. If you understand what they're afraid of, then you can also be able to relate with them through your content on social media. And at the same time, what are the needs? What are the things that they consider to be in need of? This also serves as a means by which we can be able to relate with them. Now, what do all of these help us to do? Because with all of these, we can be able to draw or create a fictitious story about who we are reaching out on social media. And I call it a fictitious because it's not real, it's not meant for anybody. So let us take, for example, an audience that we want to reach out to. And we want to reach out to this audience, and let's say the name of this audience is the BMA. I decided BMA is the initials, okay? So who is BMA? Okay, we can say BMA is a woman, all right, that is within the age of 30 to 50 years. All right. So I'm just giving this description, our analogy from my head. All right. So BMA is a woman who is between the age of 30 to 50 years. And BMA, is usually inclined towards social media and always on Facebook and also on Instagram. Always interested in videos and also interested in pictures that contains information in order to learn and to know how to take care of ourselves and also know to learn about the way healthy living practice or every healthy living tips. Now, I've just come up with a description of someone that I believe this description could match anybody. And this description is also helping me to know this kind of person will be the kind of person I want to target as my audience. So we must be able to tell a story, and an imaginary story that captures our audience, and at the same time, we can be able to use that, as a means by which we can create content that would address what the need of this individual is. Now, this is what we call an audience persona. All right, so an audience persona is that description that we create of an individual that we are intending to target. So it helps us to be able to indicate what the needs of this individual is, the pain points of this individual, and then whatever it is that we are bringing forth or put up or sharing on social media, we are ensuring that it meets the need, it meets the expectation of that individual. All right. So all these are actually the preliminaries that comes towards our use of social media. they really help us to be able to take full advantage of social media, the benefits, and be able to reach out to those who we intend to reach out to. So we are not just sharing posts randomly and just hoping that the intended audience will get it, but we're actually strategic about our social media engagement, and then we are able to reach to them and able to get, to relate with them, and they can also relate to us. And so this becomes very important for us. We need to ensure that we tick these boxes and that we are then up to task towards giving them the content that we appeal to them. Because at the end of the day, the end goal is what matters. And that is that at the end goal, which is the objectives that we have set out for with our social media. So having spoken about about the identification or identifying our target audience. Now, let me just, I will conclude my session before handing over to Gio, who will then continue about setting up a social media account. And I'll do this briefly because I'm of the assumption, and I want to believe I'm right, that every one of us have a social media account that we have set up for ourselves, okay, as an individual. Now, but for an organization, and because an organization objective, Fight for Life, the objective of Fight for Life now is already identified and specific. Now, you also need to ensure that the social media account that we're setting up is, follows and meets these objectives. Now, we actually did, we did a one background check, trying to look at the extent of, online presence on social media that Fight for Life has. And it's, it's interesting to find that there are existing accounts, on most of the social media platforms. The only backdrop, that we found is that there are like as almost no engagement. On Instagram there is no post at all. All right. Now, this is at least the first step is that you have an account created. All right. But after creating the account, there is need to set up the account. All right. So that you can then begin to manage this account. So in setting up the account, now a number of things are very important. Now, and I must say that at least for the first part of it, we found that there was a very good presentation of the profile picture in some of the accounts as well as the cover image. Now, because that is usually the first contact, because of the visual, is the visual part of the account. So you have the profile picture, you have the cover image, and these are very important. Now, the profile picture definitely should be the logo, which is what we found, as well as the cover image. Now, some other ways by which cover image can actually be used to capture the objective of an organization, because of the way it is designed, it provides for a landscape view, unlike the profile picture that is just is square shape. Now, it should be able to convey either the organization as a whole. It should convey the cover picture should convey what I would call a value of the organization. So sometimes you can make use of the mission statement or the vision statement. Sometimes it could be good also to use a picture that actually communicates a value of the organization. It might be the team members. Okay. Now, all of these it begins to draw a sense of belonging, because is either you have seen the mission statement and you can relate with it as one who is maybe a donor, or you are seeing the team in where they on one of their projects or outreaches. Now it also helps to communicate, the purpose of the organization. Now the bio and the description becomes the next point of call, and the bio and description should be clear and compelling. It should be very descriptive as to what the organization does. Now, depending on the platform, some platforms allow you to write bio of a restricted number of characters. Some platform can provide for you to write your bio in lengthy, to be lengthy, like LinkedIn. You can write a lengthy bio on LinkedIn. But nevertheless, whichever the case is, the first paragraph must be concise, must be able to capture the essence of the organization, must be able to capture what it does, must be able to capture what it believes in, must be able to capture what it has as a goal, as an objective. And then other information can follow, because quite a number of people who try to check out on organizations, many don't have the time to read a very, very long information. So they want to just get the basic, get the point within a very short time. Okay, so after the bio, ensure that the contact information also are well provided for in the details, in the profile details. Also, the website link, and Fight for Life has a website, a very good one too, which still needs to be, to be improved on, considering our assessments. But the website link also should be provided, so that aside from information that is on the social media, visitors to the social media accounts can also be able to link to the website, find the website, and then engage on the website. All right. So these are very important parts of the the social media account, and also that needs to be reviewed and also needs to be updated as when due. All of these form all that are needed in order to begin to engage on social media, and also begin to begin to engage, for you to begin to engage your target audience. So I think at this point, like I said, for setting up a social media account, there is no point going about how to create the account, because I know every one of us have to, we have we know how to create an account on social media, and so all we need to do is to ensure that we can be able to set them up. All right. So I think this has been a very informative session on the introduction to social media, and so I want to hand over to Jill Lawal, who will take us through the session on content creation after one has been able to create an account, set it up, and we also been able to discover, to determine objectives. You've been able to identify your audience, been able to get demographics of your audience, as well as the psychographics, and also be able to create a audience persona. Therefore, how do you begin to engage your audience with content that are relevant to them? All right, so thank you very much. If we have questions, can I take them before I finally hand over to Jill?
Yes, please.
All right. So please, do we have questions? You need clarity.
I have a quick question. I have a question.
All right, go ahead,
I have a
ma'am.
question. Yeah, you talked about you gave us some good comments, and but then you did say we don't have any kind of engagement, which is true. So what is it, G.O. Lawal that is going to teach us about content creation, or it's you? Or is it going to tell? Because that's been my concern, we just have it there, it's open, we're not really doing anything because it appears most of us don't know how to do it. So is Gio Lawal going to be teaching us how to do the content creation? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. Yes, Joe Lawal is going to take up a session after me now, and is going to focus on content creation. So it would be doing that. So I believe that answers your question, man. Because after now we'll be going into that, and is um it's definitely going to be a practical session which every one of us need to pay attention to, and also if possible even follow along.
Yes, you answered my question, and thank you so much. It was a nice presentation.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. All right. If there isn't any question or any need for clarification on anything that I've said, so I would hand over to Jill. All right, Queen, I see that you are unmuted. You want to say
No, I
something?
want to say, I just wanted to comment on you that you did a great job.
Well, thank you very much. I
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it. All right. Yes, Jill, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Sam. Thank you for I think it's about 1 hour, almost an hour, that you've spent building the foundation. So what Sam had done is to actually build the foundation upon which every other thing that I will be doing for, I think, about next 2 hours, we'll be building on. So it's actually very important that we have that, so that we don't just want to come in and, just start content. It might sound quite, we might not be getting you the way we want to, but I think it's just like a quick refresher, kind of, just to bring us back. So thank you, Sam, for that. By the way, Sam is our chief operations officer at Co-opt, and my co-founder also at Co-opt. So thank you, Sam. So without further ado, because of time, I'm just going to go straight to my session, and it's going to demand all your attention. Yes, and it's strictly about content creation. Content creations. I would first like to ask, what exactly is even content? What do we understand by content? I would like us to, unmute, just tell me what you understand by content. What is content? If you, I'm sure we've all been hearing content creation. So I will be calling names if there's some people that have not spoken here since. So I'll actually be calling names. So you may want to gear up for this session, because we need attention. Dr. Wilson have been answering, and Queen has also been answering and asking questions. I know we have a lot of people also on this call, except you can speak, so I understand. But if not, please, what is content? What do you understand by content? I'm sure you've heard the word content.
Yeah, I can talk about it.
This is a moisture. I would say very simply that content creation is telling your story. Did you hear me?
Okay, I had content creation. Actually, I was actually going to pause you first, sir, before you continue, but I don't know how. I didn't hear the other part. I just went
I said content creation is telling your story.
It's telling your story. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. That's a very beautiful answer, and I must say it's correct. But I tell you what. Yes. Did you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, fantastic. So I was going to say that the question is, what is content? So I don't want us to get into content creation yet. I want us to first establish what the content actually is. What is a content?
I think content is all about the totality of an information you want to pass out. Information you want to share out there. Information about yourself you want to share. Yeah.
Okay. I like that word, the totality of the information you want to share. Okay. Dr. Roslyn, you were trying to say something earlier.
Yeah, I was going to build on that. So content, you're talking about ideas, you're talking about
exactly.
concepts, you know. It could be in form of audio, could be video, could be just anything, you know. So the creation part is you now throwing that out there.
Correct.
Okay. So I think right now, we can actually just end this call because Dr. Roslyn already she has defined content creation for us. The rest is left for us just to do practical. But I think at this point we can say, Dr. Roslyn, you are a certified content creation facilitator.
I hear
you. All right, so because we are all correct. Yes, content is the totality of the information we want to share out. Let me say content is everything around us. Content is me, content is you, content is your phone you're using or the laptop you're connecting with. Content is your child, your husband, content is your chair, content is your table. Content is virtually the air you breathe. Content is everything around us. Anything you can picture, everything you can think about, everything you can imagine is content. You know, I would like to let me go. Apologies to those who are probably are Muslims. Let me just, you know, I believe maybe it's the same way. You know, where it said the Bible said when God was going to create the heaven and earth, you know, he spoke the word, right? So let there be light. So, you know, the earth was just there. There was nothing in it. It was void. It was null and void. You know, because there was no content. Hello. There was no content in the world. And God needed to create a content. He needed something, you know, to work with. And he knew that, oh, at this point, there's a need for lights, brightness. You know, there's a need for the water. There's a need to divide the land from the water. There's a need for the firmament and everything. So that moment, permit me to say, content came into existence from that moment. So content is everything that is around us. Now, when it comes to social media, content is the heart of social media. It is the heart. It is what social media breathes upon. Without content, then there is no social media. Information, whatever it is, you know, we can target is what social media drives on. And just like Dr. Roslyn earlier said, there are different types of content. I know she mentioned some, but I want to still ask, maybe to know, maybe if you had that, because she already gave us a expo. So I wanted to ask this question earlier. So what are the kind of the types of content that we've come across before? Since content is everything around us, what are the types of content? I want to do this very quick so that I can get into the practical part. What are the types of content?
We have visual, audio.
Dr. Rosley, I wish you are not the one speaking. No.
Okay, I'll stop here.
You mentioned two already. So I thank God you didn't mention the third one because I know the third one might be a little bit. I don't want to make any promise, but anybody will get it. I will pray for the person from my heart.
Please make a promise because I will get it.
Okay. So you already mentioned two, the visual and the audio. So who can tell me the third kind of content? The third kind of type of content? Anyone?
Written.
Can I be writing?
Written.
Yes. Writing.
Yes,
I got it right.
I got it
Yes,
before you. That's Expo, please. I
I
got it
said
first.
writing. Let me get that.
Everybody
I
got
said
it. We
writing
all
before you
said it
said
together.
writing.
Okay, don't worry about. Dr. Roslyn and Kaoli, I'm going to share it between two of you, 50-50. So no cheating. You both two of you got it right. Yes, so written content or text content. So these are the three types of content. And this, categorize, or I don't know the English to use for it, for every content that we can think about. Yes, I think that's the right word. Helps to categorize them. Sunday, you're muted. Do you want to say something?
I wanted to say written before, but it's done. No problem. Let's go on. Visual,
you came late.
audio, written, and so on. That's okay.
Okay. No, you came a little bit late, but I'm still going to accept that. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, so yes, written, visual, and audio. Now, let's take it a little bit further. What are the kind of written contents that we know of? Written contents that we know of. Okay, Amatoye.
I think newspaper.
Newspaper. When you say newspaper, you mean the one we the one we read, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well,
I like magazines too. We have magazines.
Okay. It will still pass. It will still pass. Just thinking in my head, we didn't pass fully, but to some extent to pass. Some extent to pass. Okay. Any other content?
We may be looking at text messages.
Yes, text messages. Thank you. Yes, finally you got this one very on time. Yes, thank you. Text messages, blog posts. Yes, blog. Blog content, copies, marketing copies, promotional copies, articles, WhatsApp messages. Now, and there are platforms. So I will be, because of time, because I want to go straight into the podcast because it's going to take us a lot of time for the podcast session. I will try to just speak to the platforms straightforward that address this type of content. Now, Twitter and Thread are two platforms that are built heavily on tests. They are built heavily on tests. Twitter, if you go, yes, you can see video, you can see pictures, but majorly the driving force, the driving power for Twitter and Thread, that's Thread owned by Meta, Facebook, they are built majorly for tests. The same thing is WhatsApp. Even though they can still do visual content like video, audio visual, audio, yes, but the strength for them is about text. That is why WhatsApp, for example, came in after we've had Facebook, Instagram, and all of them, and within few years became the most used platform because it's easy for you. So WhatsApp was built on the ideology or on the principles of simple text message, where I can pick my phone and send a text. But the difference is either me sending a text message and I'm being charged, either in my Naira or in my cents, and it's being deducted from my phone. This is being me, I can just make use of this using my internet. That was what WhatsApp was built on. Twitter, like I said earlier. Now, other platform that also makes use of text very well is, LinkedIn, Facebook. LinkedIn, Facebook, it's a mixture. Text, visual, pictures, audio, visual. But for WhatsApp, Thread, Twitter, they are built majorly, heavily on. So you said something? Sunday, you said something?
No, thank you. I'm with you.
All right. So those ones are built majorly on text. And also blog, the blog site on our website. So like my colleague said earlier, Samuel said earlier, So we checked your website. I must confess, it's very beautiful. Like in fact, when I saw it and we're discussing about the website, I told him, I said, wow, the aesthetic of the website is fantastic. Yes, in terms of beauty, it is very beautiful. I love the mixture of the color. I think is it pink and blue and white. I know it's not like the normal blue, but the mixture is the aesthetic is good. But when it comes to the functionality, that's another discussion. But there is something that I think is missing for a platform like a website for your kind of organization that focuses on cancer. Probably it's from prevention to taking action for victims to prevent. Man, you say something, man.
Support.
Yes, support. Yes, from prevention to support. Yes, thank you, man. So I think your website should have a blog, a blog site where you also put out content about maybe write-ups, articles about what people need to know about their health. What are people doing that can make them get cancer? How can they prevent cancer? What are some medical pardon me, maybe I may not be getting this properly. Maybe what are the medications available for maybe cancer patients? What do they need to do? So these are on its own, from the text perspective, these are contents that from our blog site to our Twitter. I think we saw that you don't have a Twitter account. There's nothing wrong in that. There's nothing wrong with that. We always encourage organizations to know your strengths. You don't have to be on all the platforms. No, you don't have to be on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Thread. At times, it can be overwhelming. It can be draining. But if you know your strengths, which one can we focus on and get, put all our strength in it? In fact, it can be one. There are some organizations that they are just on one platform, just a platform, and they are good. And in fact, their visibility is actually far more than those who are on all the platforms. It can be 2, it can be 3, whichever one. So I'm just saying that on the text perspective, having a blog site is actually going very effective. And like I said, you can come up with articles to from your blog site. You can then connect this to your social media platform, for example, Facebook, so that when you post something on your blog site, your Facebook picks feed from your blog site, and it's being posted on your Facebook automatically. So meaning without you necessarily having to go back again to Facebook to post. And also vice versa, when you post on Facebook, it can also your blog post, your blog site can also pick this, and it becomes an article on your website that people can also go back to read. Now, quickly, because my hands are kind of itching to get into the particular session. So the audio content is anybody who can give me anyone example of an audio content?
Podcast.
Thank you, doctor. I'm feeling like I should just close this training right now. Okay, podcast. Any other one? Audio content. Anyone?
Interviews.
Okay.
Or voice over.
Yes, voice over. Yes. I need somebody else now. Doc, if you are mute, I will not allow you to unmute again. Any other person? Someone else? In fact, there are a lot of them around us. And there's one I'm actually waiting for. In fact, that one is around. In fact, I'm sure that all of us today, I'm trying not to complete that statement so that you will not get the expo. You've engaged with it. Let me say it that way.
Voicemail.
Voicemail. Okay. Voicemail. Yes, that's the past.
It's not Netflix. It's not
But it's
Netflix,
not Netflix.
is it?
No,
is it
no.
No, or Spotify? Is it Spotify?
Okay, so those are platforms. Those are
TikTok.
platforms.
Are you talking about TV, movies?
Okay. Radio
TV.
station.
Okay, radio station is another one. Yes,
Yeah.
radio station is another one. Radio station is correct, but there's still one I'm waiting for. Even on radio station, that content will still come up on radio station.
Is it jingles?
Okay, jingle is another one, but there's one I'm still waiting for. But I love this audience because you guys are just opening just like onion. You're opening the layer one after the other, but there's one I'm still trying to get.
I think it's a poster.
Poster is visual.
No.
Okay.
So when I started this session, when we started this session, and when we joined and we've not started no talking, I was doing something at the background because I just wanted the environment to be relaxing, so that we're just looking.
Singing, song.
Music.
But I mentioned Spotify.
All right.
I mentioned Spotify.
Music.
Yes, you mentioned Spotify. Spotify is a platform.
It's a music platform.
Music. Yes, a platform.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Mute yourselves, though. So much noise.
I'm going to mute everyone now. All right. Okay, so let's quickly create a rule so that it's I like the way we are all able to unmute and just speak. It's good for me. I wish we don't have to say, oh, raise your hand so that it's a virtual session, but for coordination, probably after you've unmuted and you've spoken, just help to mute back so that it's not rowdy. Or you can just use the raise hand button so that I can then call your name. But I kind of like it that you're able to just unmute and speak actually, so that we can move forward. Yeah, so music is under fantastic audio content, music, jingles, news. I know we mentioned radio, but news on radio is a platform. Radio is a platform. The reason why we now have the likes of Audio Max, Spotify is they decided to make, instead of you moving around with a device, an MP3, to listen to music, you can then just do that on your phone. Netflix, instead of you having to just sit down with your TV, you can do that on your phone, on your devices, on your laptop. That's why those are platforms. Spotify is the platform. Audio Max is the platform. Your radio is the platform. So now to visual. Now I did not mention something earlier. There's visual and there is audio visual. Now for visual, I need maybe just one person, a visual content. Who can help me out? Visual content.
A billboard.
Billboard. Yes, billboard. Thank you, sir. Yes, billboard. Pictures.
This card right here.
Videos.
Video is not a visual. Video is visual. But it's audio.
Brochures, pamphlets.
Flyers.
Yes. So okay, I'm trying to just quickly mute us. So visuals are those contents that we can see, but we can't hear from them. Audios are those contents we can hear, but we can't see them. Are we together? So visual contents can be flyers, can be graphic designs, can be pictures. Yes, our pictures are also our content. Artworks are also visual contents. Now, when we then go to audio visual, That is where we now have both the audio and the visual together, where we can now have like a movie, for example. You can see it, you can hear it. So you can create interview. So a podcast can be visual and can be audio. For podcasts, it can be a visual podcast. It can be an audio visual podcast, while it can also be a totally audio podcast. So these are the different types of content and the platforms that we can use for them. For the visual or the audiovisual content, we can majorly platforms that are built for this, the likes of Instagram, TikTok. These are majorly audiovisual platforms. Majorly audiovisual platforms. They are built. In fact, Instagram is built heavily. Instagram and TikTok rather are built heavily on audio visuals. So when you are thinking about the content, where do you want to put them? Of course, Facebook and LinkedIn also are audiovisual platforms. You can post virtually everything on Facebook, virtually everything on LinkedIn. But majorly for audiovisual, you have your Instagram platform, your TikTok. That is why TikTok is built for short videos, 60 seconds, 1 minute. Sorry, 60 seconds is still 1 minute. 60 seconds, 30 seconds, maximum 3 minutes, 5 minutes. So because attention span is getting shorter and shorter, so you want to create visual content that are straightforward, attention grabbing, and they catches attention on time. Now, the kind of content you want to create now then depends on what you do. So for us at Fight for Life Cancer Foundation, what kind of content do we want to create? What kind of content do we want to create? I don't know if I have 1 or 2 persons who can tell me the kind of content that Fights for Life Cancer Foundation. Now, I'm being specific, and that's why I'm stressing the Fight for Life Cancer Foundation as an organization, because we are a team here, and the purpose of this training is for us as an organization to be able to move our content, to another level. So what kind of content can we create as Fight for Life Cancer Foundation? Anyone?
Yeah, I think we can create multiple. We can create visual, audio, mixed media. So the mixed media will have to do with the YouTube, videos, reels, webinar, even live sections.
Okay, so now what I'm trying to get at is this, ma'am. So those videos, the content on YouTube. So what are those contents you want to create? What will it be if you want to create a video content? Now let me say this quickly. Before hold on, ma. Okay, before we answer, hold on. Let me say this quickly so that we know why I am asking us these questions. Because content creation, actually, it's actually mental work. And it takes a lot of mental work for content creation. Everybody can create a content, but not everybody can create the right content. So, and the reason I'm asking us is because I want us to do the mental work together, so that we are not just telling you, you are part of the process of understanding the content we need to create together. Okay, so now back to my question. Yeah, Queen, you want to answer us, man?
Yeah, my thought, I don't know if I'm on the right way. It's, normally when you're watching a movie or something like that, an advert comes. So like a short movie or short thing that the advert will come, then click on this, you get more information. Like now you're watching a story, then Pepsi comes or a medication, just like a short advert. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes, I do. So if I should summarize what you're saying, you're talking about like promotional content.
Correct.
Promotional content. Yes.
That's a better way. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's correct. Omotoye, can see you're muted. Omotoye.
Yes, I'm looking at a institution whereby testimonies we serve as a content.
Testimony. In fact, you just won my heart. Just take my heart, sir. Oh ma, I'm not sure. I'm dashing it to you. Don't worry, I'll explain to my wife later. I've given it to someone else. All right, thank you. Testimonies. Yes, I love that. Okay. Promotional content, testimonies. I'm listing that one.
What about events?
Events. What kind of events? What kind of content? You say events.
Yeah, I was going to even tell you something. When you looked at our website, did you look at the resources? Because we have a blog under resources, and there we had an event last year, December, and we posted a lot of videos and pictures. I'm not sure you looked at that. So
okay,
that
was
a blog. Because when you said we didn't have a blog, I was a little bit concerned.
Okay, no, I will. No, maybe later I'll come back because at the point we're still going to get to your website. Yes, we're still going to get to your website. Okay. Yes, I know I said what I said earlier, but I'll come back to it. Do you get me, ma?
Okay.
Yes, okay. All right. So someone was going to say something earlier. Is it I'm sorry, I'm trying to. I hope I'm not going to. I'm able to pronounce it properly. Oh, he's no longer here. Then I was CV, if I got the name correctly. Okay, so let me move on. Okay, so let me just move on. Full of time. Okay, so let me pause.
I'll let Michelle know.
I said I'm here.
Okay, you're in, sir. Okay, please go on, sir. What kind of content?
Yeah, I'm thinking of because you were talking about TikTok, so that took my mind to a very short drama piece. You know, I heard Mrs. Omotoye talk about testimony, a very short drama piece about the struggle for survival. You know, given health challenge, like we're talking about breast cancer, you know, somebody's journey to survival, to surviving breast cancer, you know, like a short clip. Yes, it's still in line with the testimony, but this kind of relates with the person, the individual, the family, and the society.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, sir. Okay. So we are all correct. We are all correct. Now let me quickly take us back a little bit when I started, and when I spoke about the blog of a theme. So we can, as an organization, the kind of content we want to put out, and this can happen in different directions. It's not like one cap fits all kind of thing. Number one, educational kind of content. So we are into we're a foundation that is focused around prevention and support for cancer patients, right? So we want to look at, number one, the preventive aspects of cancer. So meaning we want to create content around educating people about cancer. That is one. Samuel mentioned earlier, we want to create research, data. How can we put out data to also support the work we do? Excuse me. So we want to probably find out data about cancer, maybe about the geographic area where our work focuses on, probably the US, Nigeria, depending if there are other places actually. What is data saying about this? How can we use this data to keep reinforcing our work? Let people keep knowing about what we are doing. Are there annual data that comes out every year about cancer in men, in women? Is it prostate cancer? Is it leukemia? No, the different kind of cancer. Can we pick every week, every month, one data and analyze it? So in data analysis, there is what's it called? There's data analysis, there's insights, that there's visualization, and from that visualization you can also bring out storytelling. How can you tell this? How can you tell and break down this data to the point that it's much more easier for everybody to understand? So all this on its own, they are content. Now also content around podcasts, visual. Can we take survivors to tell their stories? How was it like? Oh, how did the foundation help them to move from point A to point B, where they are now okay? Or how can we say someone who over time had engaged with the preventive contents that Fight for Life Foundation have been putting out there, probably in video, in pictures? By the way, like I said earlier, all the different kinds of content can actually happen in any of the types of content. I'm trying to break that down. The types of content can be text, can be visual, can be audio, can be audiovisual. That's four. That's written or text, audio, visual, audiovisual. Those are the types of content. Now, the kinds of content can now be educational, can be promotional, can be which other one? Testimonies, can be different, can be data, can be research, can be everything we can think about. So each of them, if you pick educational content, for example, we can have educational content as text, as audio, as video, as audio visual rather. If we pick testimonies, we can take testimonies, so we can have on websites. In fact, as of this morning, one of our clients whom we are building their website, and this morning, I see one of the things they just told us to do on their website is to include testimonials of people they've trained over time on their website. So meaning that people can go to their website and read testimonials without necessarily having to see the person or hear the person, which is just purely text. They can read, oh, before now, I was this, I was that, I was that, I was that, but now I am this as a result of Fight for Life Foundation, or as a result of my engagement with Fight for Life Cancer Foundation. These are tests on the website. It can be video. A video can be a video in form of a podcast, interview. Sometimes we get kind of mix the two together. Podcast, interview, whichever one, as a video content where we then ask somebody, the person speak about their experience, an experience sharing, somebody talking about their own experience, how they became a survivor of cancer. This can happen via interview, can happen via a podcast discussion, or just a documentary. That's another thing. Can be trade documentary. These are visual, but we're still talking about testimonials. Also, it's still that same testimonial. Event promotion. I can also take any form, from tests. Our simple SMS tests is, we are still promoting the test. We are still promoting the event, but it's test. We can create graphics for promote the event. It is visual. We can create jingle. It is audio, but what we are still doing is we are still promoting one event, but using the different types of content. We can use audiovisual, which can come in through, I'm going to show us some of these things, which can come in through what we can call a montage. You can come in through, it can also be a jingle or a video, a visual jingle, rather than just audio. So it can come in as a sponsored post on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. So all we just need to do is, what kind of content do we want to create? Which I've actually listed them out for us already. No, I did not list them out. I won't take credit for that. We had listed them out. Educational, testimonials, event promotionals, research, data. I think research and data can still go together. So with this, we can then begin to divide our work. By tomorrow, we'll be getting into content strategy, then developing a content calendar, so that with all these things that we've identified, how can we now have a content calendar to say, okay, this week we are going to be putting out educational content. Probably every Monday it's going to be Motivation Monday. Every Tuesday is going to be Testimonial Tuesday. Every Wednesday is going to be, when I get there, I'm going to do more about that. Thursday, most of us, we know Thursday. Yes, Walk Wednesday. Work. Okay. Or Workout Wednesday. Oh, Workout Against Cancer Wednesday. Fantastic idea. So every Wednesday, we just think about, okay, Workout Against Cancer Wednesday. Now, what kind of content we want to put out that speak about workouts? How does it help to prevent cancer? Oh, it's workout. Today is Wednesday. It is our Workout Against Cancer Wednesday. Do we have events around workout? Do we want to put up an event by ourselves every Wednesday morning? It can be physical, it can be virtual. Everybody, when you wake up, can you do a 40 minutes, a 60 minutes? Can you do a 30 minutes push-up? Whatever. Every Wednesday morning. And we are consistent with it. And when we are doing this, the good thing is we can say we are going to live stream this. We are live streaming it. Somebody sits down and say, put your hand 2 times, up for 1 minute. You do this every Wednesday morning for 1 minute. You do push-up. And we are live streaming this every Wednesday. We are showing up doing this every Wednesday for our Workout Against Cancer Wednesday. That consistency is what brings about visibility. Okay, because of time, let me move on. So let me go straight into my demo of the different types of content. And I'm going to start with the test content. One thing that drives not only test content, every content is caption. I don't know if you heard me. Is caption. Caption.
Caption. C-A-P-T-I-O-N.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, C-A-P-T-I-O-N-S. Captions.
Okay.
Yes. Be it a visual content, be it an audiovisual content or a text content. Captions are very, very important. In fact, be it a blog post, be it an article, there is something that if you see a trailer of a movie, let me take for example the Avengers. There's a way they will start with a trailer of the movie. Something like, for centuries, it was lost. And they will show a man, probably, let me use one of the Avengers now. Let me use Iron Man. I'm trying to remember his name in the movie. Iron Man. You can help me out. I think Steve Rogers is Captain America. Yes, Steve Rogers is Captain America. So let me just stick to what's his name? I'm trying to remember our young man's name. Pardon me. My mommies and daddies here. Maybe you may not know Avengers. I'm sure maybe if I have my younger people here, they will probably be familiar with Avengers better. Okay. So let me use Steve Rogers. I think that's Steve Rogers for Captain America. You may see something like since the First World War, he was there with us. And you see him standing on a mountain, probably looking at let me say, I'm just making this up in my head now. Maybe looking at Germany, for example. And he has been there saving us one life after the other. They will see him with one action, saving people, maybe fire coming in, and you take that his shield, blocking. All these things are intentional because they are trying to get to our emotions, and all those wordings, the texts, this is what caption does to capture your attention. In fact, if I'm going to define caption, and I'm going to break that word, caption is capture attention. I think I should write that down somewhere. Yes, actually, I think that's a perfect definition for it. Capture attention. That's caption. Within the first 5 seconds, when I see your content, what catches my attention? What keeps me glued to your attention? If it's graphics, your graphics, the color, your color combination, the text, what are the tests that are more pronounced, that catches attention, that when I see them, I would then want to see other things in that graphics design. When it's an article, that is why you see in news, they will put headlines, and the headlines will be so. That's why sometimes I run away from news at times, especially all these some of these bloggers, because they just want to drive traffic. If you're not careful, you just fall to their trick. They just put one very, I don't know how to put it, one headline. Now, by the time you get to the content, you now start reading something else, and you now wonder what's the correlation between this headline and the content. For example, I saw something I think last year, and it says Tinubu, that's Nigerian president, says Tinubu something. I think maybe Tinubu. I don't want to use the word die. There was a particular word that was used, and they said Tinubu. And I was like, wow, Tinubu, Nigerian president. And I opened the content. Now, only for me to discover that the Tinubu they're referring to is not the Tinubu of Nigerian president. It's actually somebody else who bears the name Tinubu. But that moment, they actually played on my emotion, and they actually got me, because when I saw Tinubu, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, Nigerian president. But in the content, they now say, okay, Mr. Desmond Tinubu, or so. I'm like, you guys are not serious. So that is what caption does. So caption is very important. And hashtag. So because in the world of social media, hashtag helps us to keep flow of our conversation. It helps us to let me use the word, direct all our conversation together. And it also helps us to, because with the way hashtag is growing, hashtags are evolved beyond just something we just add to our text. We also use hashtag to for movements, for advocacy, to drive collaborations, to strategize. People now use hashtag, trending. They jump on trending hashtags. There are some hashtags that have been able to drive. So I'm going to share my screen at this point. There are some hashtags that have been able to drive engagement around the world. If I may ask, can you share with me some hashtags that that over time I've been able to.
Sorry, sir, if you don't mind, can you explain to us what hashtag means? Some of us don't even know. We're just hearing you say hashtag, hashtag. What is the meaning of that?
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you my screen so that you get to understand it better. Okay, let me just go straight into sharing my screen instead. Just a sec. Where's my Chrome? My Chrome. Okay. All right. So, please, can you confirm you can see my screen? Okay, I think it's up. Can you all see my screen? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, all right. So, if you look at this is an hashtag. You know, the hash symbol, I think that's what it's being called. The hash symbol. This, let me try and increase my, yes. Okay, so this symbol here.
It's far away. Can you zoom it so that we can see? We can't see. You, I think you are on the entire page, and what you're showing us is just on the upper end. We can't really see it.
Oh, okay.
So you can zoom your screen as well.
You can zoom your screen.
Into your screen.
I actually want you to see the tests. And can you see it now?
No.
Oh.
I think you are taking the entire space, while what you're sharing is just at the upper left or right, and it's small. You can't really see it.
Trying to. Okay, my image. Okay, but sorry, can you see my mouse? Can you see my mouse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so just follow my mouse because my mouse actually wants you to follow. So this symbol, the hash symbol. Okay. Can you see what I've highlighted here?
Yeah.
Okay, so this ice bucket challenge. You know, there's this symbol before the ice. This is the ash. So this symbol, when added to a word like this, becomes an hashtag, but without space. So ice bucket challenge. This is an hashtag. Now, and this hashtag, like I said, hashtag has gone beyond. Initially, it's just to majorly draw trends, but now hashtags are now used for movement. Hashtags are used for strategies. In fact, it's used for strategizing. Why also is used for driving visibility. Is used for trends. Yeah, you know, I think hashtag originally started from Twitter before other platforms started adopting it. Now, this particular hashtag you're seeing here, Ice Bucket Challenge, started in the year 2014. In the year 2014, I'm going to zoom out. And the person you can see on this video, this is Usher Raymond.
Usher. Yeah.
Yes, this is Usher Raymond. I've checked, in fact, several of them. This guy in I think this guy was in Lord of, is it no? What's this movie again? There's this popular movie, not Lord of the Ring. Is it God of Thrones or something like that? I can't remember again. Now these are popular actors. Nick Jonas. I met it somewhere. Who is this again? This is President, yes, former President George Bush, even Obama, Kim Kardashian. This is Michael Jordan. All of them jumping on this hashtag. Now, this hashtag, let's go back and look at what this hashtag is all about. This is Wikipedia. Now, is the Ice Bucket Challenge. The Ice Bucket Challenge, sometimes called the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, was an activity involving the pouring of a bucket of ice water over a person's head, either by another person or self-administered, to promote awareness of the disease. I'm not sure I know how to pronounce this. Amyotrophic
sclerosis. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so you're in the field, but you know, so I think that's where ALS comes from.
That's right.
So it's a motor neuron disease. And so what they do is to encourage people to donate towards the research of this ALS. So what they do is you are to get, let me zoom this. Okay. So you get a bucket of water with ice in it, and you will call someone's name. So you are challenging another person to pour a bucket of cold water with ice on him or herself. So if the person cannot do it, he or she is to donate towards this particular campaign. So it's a campaign, but which is driven through hashtag. I don't know if you're with me. So in a way, now the interesting thing is, this started 2014, and they were able to raise, where's that? I think $115 million. Yes, $115 million worldwide. This is it. They were able to raise $115 million from this particular hashtag. So why am I showing us this? Hashtag has gone beyond just putting something there. We have Black Lives Matter. We have Me Too. So these are hashtags that has evolved into movements. The Black Lives Matter moved beyond, started from what's his name? Is it what's his name again? Is it George? Yes.
Yeah, George Floyd.
Yeah, George Floyd, yes. When he was pinned down and he kept saying, I can't breathe. And, so that's, moved from just an incident to a movement that was driven through hashtag. In Nigeria here, we have the NSAS movement, from an incident to a movement online. And these are movements that were being carried out online, on the internet, on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and all of them, even when we're just coming out from lockdown. So movement was still I'm not sure we've totally lifted lockdown at that time. I think so. So why am I saying this is that hashtags, captions are very important instruments that we need in driving the work that we do. So that when we are creating our content, we want to create this content and we want to also jump on trends that also support the work we do. For example, for the work we do, what kind of hashtags do we want to use for the work we do? I'll go to ChatGPT, which is of course, ChatGPT is an AI platform which we can use to also drive, also get the right kind of hashtag for the work that we do. Let me show us this. Hi. Can we just see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I said hi. He said how hey, how is it going? My organization. Sorry. I'm going to move back to this. My organization fights for life, cancer Foundation is working towards improving our social media engagements. We need to explore popular hashtags that relates to the work that we do, so as to drive visibility and engagements on each of our contents. So because it is not an AI class, because there are some things I'm actually not focusing on here, because if it's an AI class, there's a lot that I'll probably have to go into this, but I'm just going to quickly just do like a basic source for us to know. Just follow me, please. I want you to search through the web and through our website at let me quickly copy your website's link. Coming back to ChatGPT. Our websites are this, so you can get an in-depth understanding of the of the work that we do. I need you, sometimes, let me quickly say this, when we use AI, like I said, because it's not an AI class, there's a lot of work that actually goes into getting the right response from AI, any AI, ChatGPT, and whatever AI platform we are using. I'll be touching on some of them as we go on, because we're using AI on some of the work that we do. So is somebody saying something?
No, we're good.
All right. So I need you to let me see. I need you to create hashtags. Hashtags. I need to create, let me say, 5 hashtags for this purpose. So I'm just going to stop here. Like I said, there is a deeper level of work that can go into this. But for now, out of time, I'm just going to stop with this. So I will send. Now, you are giving feedback on a new version. Okay. I'm just going to choose one. So I want me to choose which one. What would I prefer for me to get my response? For the sake of time, I'm just going to, okay, I'll choose this. Okay, I'll choose this because I have my sources here. So I prefer this response. Okay, so now what do I have here? Recommended hashtags. Fight for life. So this is a unique branded hashtag that encapsulates your organization's identity and mission. Pink October. Now, do you know that your website has the color pink, right? Hello, your website, your logo has the color pink.
Yes.
And I think if I am correct, I'm not sure. I think color pink, is it does it have something to do with cancer?
Yes, it does. Breast cancer.
All right, yes. So Pink October, widely recognized during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This hashtag can amplify your campaign in October. So now imagine you have an event in October, and trust me, Pink October, if we go to, let's go to Instagram. Let's go back to Instagram, and let's search for Pink October as an hashtag that we got from. Now, how many content do we have? I don't know if you can see my screen here. Can you see this very well? The number of content we have on Pink October, we have 537,000 posts on Pink October. Now, what this means is that if you create a content and you use Pink October, your content will also fall among the numerous contents that people engage on around this hashtag Pink October, meaning that your content goes beyond just your own followers. It goes beyond just your own circle of network. You are also tapping into the possibility of having all these people who are also creating content around this hashtag, also seeing your own content. For example, I'm scrolling through this, and I've just seen this. It is not just a woman's issue. This is, I think, an event, right? Breast cancer knows no gender. Men too are at risk. Now, this is an organization. So in a way, now look at this hashtag that this organization used. Breast cancer awareness, rise above the ribbon, genderless fights, early detection saves, WDC for change. Now these are several hashtags. Now, these hashtags helps to make those contents, this particular content, fall into different categories. That is the power of hashtag. Now, this is even different from caption. Now, there's a fantastic caption here, which if you are creating a content, now imagine you seeing this. Breast cancer knows no gender. I am sure that anybody seeing this, you know, if there's a mental work, let me just, for the lack of better word to use, that comes in here. Breast cancer knows no gender. Imagine that these graphics here that we can see here, now, which is also a very good caption on these graphics. It is not just a women's issue. They says rethinking breast cancer. It is not just a women's issue. Now you are seeing this. I'm sure even for me as a man, I will want to know if you are saying that it's not just a women's issue. Then if you are saying rethinking breast cancer, I as a man, I don't have a breast, for crying out loud. And you are telling me it's not just a women's issue. Of course, I would want to find out how does it concern me. Now, these are things that speak to the emotions of people, from the graphics, which is this, so the text, which is this. This is the text content here. This is the caption. Breast cancer knows no gender. I have seen it on the graphics, which is the pictorial or the visual content. I am seeing it on the text content. Now, all this works together with my hashtag on its own. This is the way that content works, that calls attention, that drive visibility. Are we together?
Yes.
I want to quickly pause for question before I move on. I still have a lot to cover, and I'm really trying to rush with time. Any question before I move on? Question?
We're good.
Okay. So if I don't have any question, I'm going to quickly move on, and let me really come back to the organization website, the blog section that is here. So because I do not know when the organization was founded or for how long the organization has been in operation, but probably I think at a point, excuse me, sorry please. So I think at a point I got, maybe should I say, I don't want to say, maybe I got a wrong impression, actually. Not a wrong impression. I think that's a wrong word to use. Trying to get, there's a detail I'm trying to get out, where I thought the organization is 25 years. There's something I saw, I think on the home page, something 25. I think that was where I probably I got different. Where did I saw this somewhere? I think it's on the home page. Should be on the home page. Yes, okay. I think yes, this was what I saw. I think I was the one who probably, so I think when I saw this, I just saw this at a glance. I thought maybe the organization is 25 years. But I don't know if I'm right or wrong. So my own assumption that if the organization is 25 years, so that was where I came up with that assumption that, then the blog should not be this scanty.
We are
So I don't want to
here. We are in collaboration with Force. So that thing you see is Force. We work in collaboration with them, but we are barely 1 year.
Okay. Now I understand. So now I understand why some of the other things that we saw, so which is very understandable. So let me come to the blog post. All right. So this is an article written by the organization, and it's like a report of a program that was done by the foundation, right?
Yes.
Yes. So one of the mistakes we usually make within the social impact space, the social development space, let me quickly add this, is our own work is because we have worked within the space for years. I personally have worked from being a program officer to becoming a senior program officer. Also worked from as an M&E advisor to becoming a senior monitor and evaluation officer. So I have close to 15 years experience when it comes to social development space, and I've managed projects from UKA, USAID, Ford Foundation, Netherlands, Canada, IFES, and a couple of Action Aid, and a couple of them. So one of the mistakes we usually make is when we write our reports for our donor organizations or our funders, we take the same narrative, especially our narrative reports, the same way we've written our narrative reports, we then kind of put it on social media. No. The report is meant to be taken and rewritten as a social media post. Now this is where artificial intelligence comes in. Now let me copy this same content that we have here. This same content, everything we have here. I'm going to copy everything we have here, because what we have here is a report, which on a blog, there's actually nothing wrong on a blog. There's actually nothing wrong on a blog, but because I'm actually trying to focus on the title, this title, Fight for Life Cancer Foundation Forum, is not captivating. Let's go back to ChatGPT. sorry, I didn't finish on this. I just wanted to touch on how you can get, these hashtags. You can see others here: cancer awareness, cancer support, breast cancer awareness. These are all for hashtags. So let me move on. I'm trying to move fast. Now the blog posts that I'm going to start with. I will be sharing a blog, sorry, a content with you. Sorry, a minute. Bolu. Bolu.
It's cooking. It's almost done.
So I will be sharing with you a content. So I will be sharing a content with you, which was written from a forum that's organization put together in, let me see, I don't know when did this happen.
December 20th, 2024.
Okay, December 2024. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Put it together December 20th, 2024. I need you to act as an experienced copywriter and social media manager. Then turn this into a blog post and a blog post for Facebook, Instagram, and let me just say LinkedIn.
Okay.
But Twitter, okay, I'm going to add Twitter. Thank you. Twitter and LinkedIn. Please follow me.
Yep.
I want you to add, I want you to start with hooks. I'm going to tell you what an hooks mean, an hook mean rather. Hooks that are catchy, captivating, and compelling for readers to engage with the content. Okay, let me just stop here. Like I said earlier, if I'm actually going to take time to actually do this, I'm actually going to do this. I'm actually going to take a lot of time. I'll take my time on this. So, but let me just, at least you can get an idea of what I'm trying to do here. So now what do we get? It says, absolutely, go ahead and share the content with me. Once I have it, I will craft the full blog post and tailor the social media caption for each platform with unique, compelling hooks that align with your mission and voice of Fight for Life Cancer Foundation. Ready when you are. All right. This is my content. And I put it here. I'm posting the long posts that we have, the reports that we have written, which probably our program officer had written from the forum, and I'm going to send. By the way, we have an extensive training on AI separate. So let's get this now. Now it says, this is a blog post. It says, empowered to fight. I light from the 2024 Fight for Life Cancer Foundation Forum. Hook, breast cancer is not a death sentence. These powerful words echoed. So this is the hook here. This is the hook. Breast cancer is not a death sentence. Now, can we remember on the Instagram, this particular word here, breast cancer knows no gender. This is an hook. Now, what does an hook, what does it mean? Just from the word hook.
Something that catches traps.
That catches, yes. A fisherman goes to the river, takes his hook and puts a night worm or a bait on it and throws to the river. That hook, you know, there's something that the fish sees, comes and, you know, put the mouth to it and gets stuck. And before you know it, they had been thrown out of the water. So the hook is what catches their attention. You know, it's always very short, direct, but you know, something that somebody reads and they want to find, I know, it gets to their emotion. Content creation is about emotion. When we are creating content, anytime I get to train people on content creation like this, the one thing I always like to leave us with, even if you don't get anything at all, is for every content you are creating, don't create the content for yourself. No, because when you are just writing it for yourself, you are not the one that's going to read the content. That is why if you create the content anyhow, you go back to it, you are the only one reading it because you've written it for yourself. You want to create the content in a manner you are trying to live in the mind of the reader. You are assuming that if I am a reader, I don't know about Fight for Life before now. I don't know what Fight for Life does. How do I want to get somebody who don't know about us to see our content and want to read the content? This is because there are several contents contesting for views at the same time. Every second, something is being posted every minute. If it's not on your WhatsApp status, it's on your Instagram reel, it's on Facebook post, it's on LinkedIn, everywhere. There are content everywhere. Don't forget, content is around us. So everybody is using content at every given time. So this is where hooks comes in. And that is why when I say hooks, I use the word catchy. Give me something that is catchy. Something that when someone sees it. Now look at this, breast cancer is not a death sentence. All these are just explanation. Now look at the content. Okay, my blog content. Okay. Now this is the content. I want you to write this so that you probably see this very well. Now, oh my, at time. I want you to rewrite, excuse me, the whole content, starting with okay, I want you to first you write the whole content starting, write the blog posts starting with the heading, and the content and the right way. Let me just put it this way. Let me just do this. Okay. Now, so because what it did here for me was more like explanation. And because I don't have time for this explanation, all this, that's why I wanted to just give me a direct content I can copy. Now, it says empowered to fight inside the 2024 Fight for Life Cancer Foundation Forum. The truth is, I can go on and on to keep tweaking this because for me, I am not satisfied with this. For me, I am not satisfied with this. I will still want it to give I will still want to give me a more catchy title. This is not the title I want, but you get what I'm trying to do. So over time, you can go back and keep rephrasing now. It says breast cancer is not a death sentence. And it says the powerful words spoken by Dr. Roslyn, founder and CEO of Fight for Life, set the tone for a remarkable gathering that united voices, hearts, and mind in the fight against cancer. Fight against breast cancer. On December 20th, 2024, the Fight for Life Cancer Foundation hosted its annual forum in Ikeja, Lagos, a vibrant event dedicated to awareness, education, and empowerment. Now, there's a progression in what we are reading. I don't know if you're with me. A mission rooted in awareness and action. Now, it started bringing, now these are like subheadings, to call your attention to what you want to read. The forum highlights knowledge, stories, and support. Then that started with opening address with purpose. And let's go back to what we have here. Now you can see how we started. The Fight for Life Cancer Foundation is dedicated to raising awareness and educating communities about. At this moment, like I said, attention span is very short. Somebody coming to read this content, permit me to use this word, will be bored. It's already bored. You'll be bored with this. Your donor might not be bored, but let me also say that your donor can also be bored because let me just maybe this is not about social media now, but your donor already know about your organization. So when you say the Fight for Life Cancer is dedicated to raising awareness, and they don't want to know this. I said this is not to donor. Even if this
basically, when we came to Nigeria, we were launching. So we launched the organization. That's why we came up with all of those stuff. It's the first time we're launching. So now we're coming back again. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be something entirely different.
All right, ma'am. Okay. The mistake is accepted. No problem, ma'am. Okay, so that said as it is. This is the power, and I have a lot to still touch on, and I've only touched on the text. I'm just trying to put them into each other. So I want us to really do before we do an exercise, I want us to do an exercise. Before I move on, I would then say, I have gotten a blog post from AI. I want you to now give me my post for social media, because I don't want us to forget that. Now, help me write my posts for social media platforms, putting in mind the need for a catchy title, that is distinctive to each platform. Now, because I want my titles to speak to each of the platforms, because the way a title for Twitter will look like different from a title for Instagram, LinkedIn, because their target audience are different. LinkedIn is for professionals and all that. So let me just send. Let's see what we would get. Now, Instagram, it says, from runway to resilience, breast cancer warriors shine at the Fight for Life Forum. This is for what? This is for Instagram. And you can see that the caption is not long. On December 20th in Ikeja, we turned pain into power and stories into strength. At the Fight for Life Cancer Foundation Forum, survivors slayed the wrong way. Doctors dropped life-saving gems, and hope lit up the room. From genetic testing insights to a celebration of sisterhood, this wasn't just an event, it was a movement. Now, there's a tag a woman who inspires you. Fight for Life Forum, breast cancer awareness, warriors work, cancer support, women's health, Ikeja event, pink power, runway of hope. That is Instagram. Now, this is supposed to go with either pictures or video. Facebook, they danced, they shared, they inspired inside the Fight for Life Forum 2025. Caption: what happens when breast cancer survivors, doctors, advocates, and policymakers gather in one space? A revolution of healing, learning, and empowerment. Then you can read Twitter, not just a forum, a movement. Remember I said Twitter is more of text. Twitter does not have time for story. And of course, you don't have, Twitter only has 120 characters. So you can't use all the words in this word. So it's straight to the point. Not just a forum, a movement. What happens when survivors, doctors, and lawmakers unite? A movement is born. The Fight for Life, I use the Fight for Life Forum as an hashtag. What life-saving insights, hope-filled fashion shows, and new government commitment to battle against breast cancer. We are not done. We are just getting started. And the hashtags. LinkedIn, now we're talking about professionals here. Empowering women with knowledge inside the Fight for Life Forum 2024. Caption: on December 24th, Fight for Life Cancer Foundation brought together. Like I said, the approach to LinkedIn is different because it's speaking to professionals. Now it's actually giving key discussions included because these are professionals. These are what will interest them. We're not just going to do like Instagram and put content from Instagram and on LinkedIn. Permitting you to use the word out suicidal. It's not right. For that content, that's suicidal for that content. Let me permit me, apologies for the use of that word, for that content. But when it gets to LinkedIn, the approach is different because who will be reading might be might be somebody who handles corporate social responsibility for Microsoft. For example, I'm just saying, that is a professional platform. And the person sees that, key discussions around genetic testing and inherited cancer risk, the spelling stigma around breast cancer, policy advocacy for increased government support, survivor empowerment through storytelling and television, blah, 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 blah. Now, this is longer because LinkedIn can take more than this. So, with this, happily, you can take your content and go to social media, put those lovely pictures, and I must commend the organization. I was telling my partner when we saw your pictures, in fact, I was like, wow, these pictures are fantastic. Because I can see that there is a taste for quality. Yes. So when I saw the picture, I'm like, wow, this is very good. The pictures are, and looking at some of the pictures, the qualities are actually quite nice. Oh, I can see Madam Queen here. Yes, I can recognize the face. Yes, the pictures are sharp. And when you put this online by themselves, they already captures the people. When they see the picture, when they see all these things, imagine putting pictures like this on LinkedIn. Now I already have a content for you. So for Facebook, where you don't have a post, LinkedIn, where there's no post, I'm going to copy all this content that we've generated today together. Yes, I'll use the word that we've generated together. I'm going to copy everything and I will send to Dr. Roslyn so that before the next class tomorrow, whoever is responsible for putting this content online should there must be content on all these contents must go across Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So this is an assignment for Fight for Life Cancer Foundation between now and tomorrow session.
I hear you, sir. That's why we are having this class, to know how to do it.
Yes, yes. So what I'm saying is, where they have the content now, go and launch into the deep and put them out there. And I'm sure by tomorrow we'll also get into other ways of promoting our contents, getting more people to come back and engage with them. So I have just about 25 minutes before 10, and I'm going to quickly get into other parts of this training. How is it going so far? Let me just get your feedback. How is it going so far? Are we getting value of our time?
Yes.
I only had one person know. Hello, I know because it's okay. So for those of us who are in Nigeria, it's getting into 10 p.m. already, and at times the moment.
Yeah. We heard you.
Some people are sleeping already while in the
We are getting value. We are getting value.
We are getting value. So that we answer for us.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm also trying to make sure that we are not sleeping. Yes, for those of you that I know in the US now, they're still in afternoon, so it's still work time. So for us here, don't worry, I'm trying my best to make sure that we are together. Please don't, if there's any way I'm losing you, please call my attention, call me back so that I can quickly recap. Okay, let me move very fast. I'm not going to spend too much time. I'm not going to even spend time on audio content because for platforms like for our audio content, all we just need to do is get platforms like AudioMac, Spotify, get an account. Let me see, for example, AudioMac that I have here. So AudioMac allows you to share your audio content for free. All you need to do is sign in or create an account. So for us, we actually don't have an account with AudioMac. I have a personal account, but I'm not using my personal account to log in. So I don't want to start creating an account because of the process, but let me just do that with Google. I think that will be faster. That'll be fast. So I don't want it to waste time. So for the lack of AudioMac, so it's actually very straightforward. So that's why I don't want to, because I have other things I may want to spend more time on, is create your audio content. So how do we create the audio content where I probably want to get into? So this is just a platform for us to publicize our audio content where you can upload your audio content to, and people can get to people can get to listen to your audio content. You can also always share the link. Of course, also share the link through Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and the rest of that. YouTube has that. With YouTube, I think there's YouTube audio, though I don't really use it. But there's YouTube. Is it YouTube Music also, where you can also upload your audio content too? Even for the normal YouTube, you can even upload your audio and put your, maybe like put a thumbnail, so people get there and they can still hear your, if it is audio. If it is audio, but if it's video, you can always upload your video content. I know there's YouTube. Yeah, there's YouTube video. Yeah, this is YouTube video. So that's for YouTube. That's for YouTube, where you can also put your audio content out there for people to also what's it called? Listen to it. But try Music Premium on us, blah 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 blah. Like I said, I don't use it. So these are also, you can see these are content from people. Don't mind me. These are the things I listen to. With this YouTube now I'm working. So let's just leave that aside. So so that's for YouTube music. So there's Spotify. You can also upload your audio content on Spotify. But to move on to visual content. Now, how do we create visual content? There are different types of visual content that we can create. Like we said earlier, we can create videos, we can create graphics, and so let me start with graphics. I'm going to start with a very there are several platforms you can use for creating graphical content, or creating graphics, rather, creating graphics. Let me correct myself that way. Creating graphics. Yes. We have Canva, we have Figma, we have CorelDRAW, Photoshop. There are a lot of them. But let me say, for a beginner or for a very easy way of getting content, we can use Canva. So so if you go to canva.com, how many of us have used Canva before? You've used Canva before. Can you please you can use the raise hand button, or just say, yes, I have. I had just one person.
Yes, I have.
Okay, that's two. Who else?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So
Excuse
Canva.
me, who said yes, I have?
Okay.
Who?
Okay. I wasn't checking the person speaking, but who said yes?
I did.
Okay.
Who said yes? Name now.
I did.
Who? What's your name, please?
Akisam.
Akisam.
Oh, okay.
Akisam.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. So Canva is, let me explain it this way. So I am a graphics designer. Yes, I do graphics. I use Canva at times. Before now, I use CorelDRAW, but over time, I switched to Figma. These are more technical platforms for designing. CorelDRAW is a very technical platform for designing. You have to be an in-depth graphic designer to use CorelDRAW. Figma is also very technical, and it's also used because we also do, for product design and the cover that. I'm not going into all that detail. So for me, I like to use those ones, except when I want to do probably I don't have enough time. I just want to really do a quick work. I use Canva. But Canva has gone beyond just a quick work. Canva also gives you an in-depth design. It can give you design, it can use it to write documents, to create PowerPoint, to create videos. In fact, now as you can see, mobile videos, documents, whiteboard, presentation, social media, video, websites. You can even create your own graphics from scratch from Canva. And all this without graphics knowledge, without necessarily having knowledge on graphics design. Yes, you can use Canva, and it's, to a large extent, it has its freemium parts, and that's a premium part where you have to pay to use. But as a non-profit, Madam Roslyn, if you, I don't know if you are still online during during the session taken by who took that? Madam Audrey Odogu took. I think that was last week Friday, during the I would say during the session on Friday, during the Beyond Grant Master class, where she spoke about some of this.
I missed that one. I missed it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sure you will get you will get the videos.
The audio, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He mentioned some of the platforms like Canva. As a non-profit, you can actually get access to Canva for free as a non-profit. Yes. So it gives you access to the premium version of Canva for free as a non-profit, but you have to apply and they approve. Once they approve, you are good to go. You can use it for free at any time. But even before you get to that point, there is a lot of things you can do, or there are a lot of things you can do on Canva for free. For example, you can let's say you want to create a content for cancer awareness on Instagram. Let me just type, this is a search, Instagram cancer awareness. So I'm just going to, okay, my awareness is wrong, but now let me search again. I want to search for designs. Okay. Am I using? Okay. No. Sorry. I'm actually searching. I was searching the wrong place. Okay. Let's Instagram cancer awareness. Okay. Oops. Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry. These are, I think these are designs that have been saved, that we have saved before. I think that, yes, these are designs that we have saved. So now, these are several designs. January cervical, or cervical cancer. Pardon me. Cervical cancer awareness month. So breast cancer, this is a pro design, so meaning you can't use it if you are not on a premium version. This is October breast cancer awareness month. This is another premium design. This is free. This is actually free. This is free. This is another one. And let me just choose one. This is, let's say we want to just design, we want to change this. We click on customize this template. It's loading. Please, if you have any question, kindly ask. I know I have just about 30 minutes. I'll try and do justice with that time. I have about 30 minutes. So from here, you can change the color. This is this background. Let's say I want to change the color of this background. This is pink. If I'm right. So let's say I want to add Fight for Life Foundation logo. I just come to upload. I click on upload file. I already have your logo on my system. That's in my download. So in my download, I have your logo in my download somewhere. Where is it? It should be this. I think I downloaded this. I think it should be last thing I downloaded. I guess so. Yes. So that's your logo. I'm going to tap on the logo. It's added here already. So I want to move things around a little bit. I'm going to delete this icon. I'm going to delete this icon. Sorry, to use Canva on its own it's a training on its own actually. We're not able to explore achieve everything here today, but I'm just going to quickly do a quick run through just for us to be able to have understanding, about how to use Canva, so that when you see it, it's not looking, like strange. Again, you can navigate. You can navigate it, and the truth is, like I said earlier, remember that I said earlier, it's your ability to go back and practicalize. Like I like to tell people that a lot of the things that I personally, as a person, I do when it comes to tech, social media, digital platforms, I actually self-taught a lot. I can boldly say 80%. 80% of them, I sat down, some I took tutorial, watched tutorials, but I just keep learning. Some I don't even have to watch tutorial. I just sit down and I keep exploring. Okay, someone says you can download Canva on Play Store. Yes, thank you, ma. Yes, thank you. Yes, you can download Canva, and it's available on Play Store, Android. It's available on App Store on iPhone. It's available on the browser on your laptop. You can even download it on your. You can download it to your system from the Microsoft. What do they call it again? Is it App Store? You can download. You can download. Everywhere you can download apps. You can download it there. You can download it there. Okay. Okay. Sorry, this line I think is coming from. I don't know how I do this, but it's not from the design. It's from my Zoom. This particular line is not from the design. It's from Zoom. So please, I'm not sure I even know how to undo that. So let's just go on. So, fight for life. Fight for life. Cancer Foundation. So we want to make it in October. We have a program in October. This is a very simple, just an awareness month, very simple design. I don't like this color. I really don't like this color. I want to choose a color from your logo. So you see from this picture now, these colors have been added. Canva already picked the pictures. Canva already picked the colors from your logo. That is why this is here. I want to use this pink, but my image here is disagreeing with me. Let me move. Sorry. Move. Sorry, please hold on. Okay. Okay, so it's an image. That's why. It's not like a color. That's why but let me still do something. I'm still going to add this. This is taking time. Why the okay. This is going to take more time than I planned.
Yeah, but we'll round up 10 because a lot of people, the Nigerian people, they're getting sleepy.
Yes. So, I'm going to pause here. Not pause. I'm going to stop here. The other parts probably tomorrow. If there's time, I don't mind starting earlier, before 7.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. This for the team now. Should we do 6? Should we start by 6 p.m. your time instead of 7 p.m.? Nigeria people. Should we do 6 p.m.? I think a lot of them are sleeping already. Nobody is responding.
We are not sleeping. 6 p.m. looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can just take time to run because I'm supposed to still touch on the visual aspects. I'm still going to touch on the video content, editing using CapCut. How can you quickly edit with CapCut, and some AI tools that you can use to also generate some content. Even on graphics, I still have some content, some things I want to show us. How can you get some pictures, elements for your graphics that are free for you to use? So thank you so much. I'm going to stop here.
So we'll do 6 p.m. tomorrow, please.
6 p.m. is fine. It's fine. So I will start by 6 because we get into more technical sessions tomorrow. So, and this is very important. So any question before we wrap up. Question.
Do your job, keep your mouth shut, and you'll be fine.
Question.
Down to sedative. As they waited for
Nobody, if you're shy to ask, you can just use the chat, but the chats. Okay, I'm not seeing any hand. Okay, should I take that to mean that we will go and practicalize everything? So probably by tomorrow we will then have questions. Maybe
Yes.
before 6 p.m. tomorrow. Go and you're free to go and shake everywhere, Canva, Instagram, and if there are questions from there, then you can bring them on board. So I think at the absence of any question, I'm just going to stop here today and say thank you so much. But before I go, I would like to just get a quick feedback, probably just from 1 or 2 persons. How has been the session today? To the one who always determine how the two will look like. So how has been the session for you today? I just only need 1 or 2.
I think
Anyone?
the section was good, really good. It was a good learning process for me, and just I think towards the end, it got a little bit draggy, if that's a good word to use. Besides that, it's I mean, I learned a lot. It's a good one. So I'm thinking tomorrow is going to be better, concerning the dragging part, because I just felt maybe you didn't take time to that thing you were trying to do, it took time, and it kind of made some people, well, me, I don't know about other people, kind of lost you at that point. But overall, it was a fantastic presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, so I think at that point, I would say thank you so much, everyone. It's been a privilege, an interesting time, going through this with us. Thank you so much. Dr. Roslyn, I don't know if there's any other way we should end this, but I think from here in Nigeria, we'll say good night. I know it's the afternoon for some people. Enjoy the rest of your day. While those of us in Nigeria, we enjoy our night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
I appreciate
All right,
you.
good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye. Thank you.